Hey, it's Felice, totally awake, and I'm back with another video. If you're new, then welcome. Now, today, I just wanted to talk about, actually, I was just remembering just being in high school. Growing up as a Jehovah's Witness, I was actually disfellowshipped when I was in high school, okay? I was disfellowshipped at 16 years old. And I went to one high school for 9th and 10th grade, and then I went to another high school for 10th and 11th. So once I got this fellowship, I got snatched out of my first high school, and I wound up going to this new high school. And I remember just kind of sharing with some of the girls I had got close to what was going on, how was this fellowship, how strict my parents were. And I just remember their responses being like, well, why don't you just talk to them? You just got to talk to your parents. And they were really convinced, and I guess it was a normal thing when you have strict parents, that you could talk to them and there would be some type of reasoning, there would be some type of middle grounds, you know? I mean, when you're a Jehovah's Witness, there is no talking to your parents, right? They're set in their ways. And the kids at school, the worldly kids, right? They don't get it because they think it should be easy to just have a conversation, let your parents know that you're getting older, and start to see some changes. But things don't happen like that because they're set in their ways. Your parents are set in their ways. There's no talking to your Jehovah's Witness parents about being a little bit more lenient with you and letting you do a little bit more things, because their response is going to be, like I know my parents used to say, it's not my rules, it's Jehovah's rules. This is what the Bible says. These are God's laws. I'm not making this up. Jehovah is making this up. These are Jehovah's laws and rules. So it was almost like, hey, I don't got no control over how we're going to run this household. We got to serve God, and this is the way he want to serve. This is the way he want us to serve him. He said at 1 Corinthians, bad association spoils useful habits. So that means Jehovah's Witness interpretation, anybody outside of being a Jehovah's Witness is bad association, and no, you cannot hang around them. And my mama used to always say, read that scripture again. Does it say outside the congregation? So that means it can be inside or outside the congregation, bad association. So that made my choices for friendship and socialization even smaller. It wasn't just limited to, as long as they're in the organization. I had to still have approval from my parents to, hang out with this person. They had to be a reputable person, be from a reputable family when I was growing up. Or I was home with them. So, I don't know, guys. This year I just been kind of feeling like returning that same energy type vibes. You know what I'm saying? Let's return that same energy for 2022. And it's just like, on the one hand, you don't want to be like that. You want to be better than people. But with the Jehovah's Witnesses, it's almost like you have no choice but to return their same energy, because what other option do you have? The dude, I don't really know his real name, Bob, I think, or something, but he played as Danny Tanner on Full House, okay? I used to love that show growing up. I used to watch that. I remember coming home and watching that. One of the few shows that we could watch, right? Because, try to watch some Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles and stuff like that growing up. I couldn't do any of that. And it's a long list of other shows as well that we couldn't watch, But those was one of the shows that I could watch, okay? And so I used to really like that show. And I was just looking at a post where, people are sending their condolences and saying how much they're going to miss him, on social media. And one of the posts was saying, like, hug your family, tell them you love them, call them up, and it's just like, I guess it just made me think about just being 16 again and how I was being encouraged to talk to my family. And there was no talking to them, I knew that. And I guess this just kind of made me feel the same way, like, can't call my family. You know, I'm not about to call them. I'm not about to just call them up and, yeah, I know life is short, but it takes two. You know, it takes two to tango. Like, you can't, you can't be in the mindset, well, life is short. Let's just talk. Let's just put all this religious stuff behind us. You know, let's not even worry about it. When you know that you are not the only person that has to feel that way in order for you and your family members to come together. You both have to feel like life is short. And you both have to literally care about life being short and care about not taking that for granted. But the Jehovah's Witnesses don't think like that. They know life is short, and they're glad that life is short because they're looking forward to the so-called real life that they're being promised. You know, through serving this organization, you're going to get the real life, paradise. And they teach them to only focus on the real life. So it doesn't matter if they're not in communication with their, you know, disfellowshipped or disassociated apostate daughter, because they're looking forward to the real life where they are going to forget my existence and live happily ever after, petting lions and tigers and bears, praising this God that has destroyed everybody, has killed everybody on earth except for this small group of people, these Jehovah's Witnesses. That's what they look forward to. So that's more important than having a relationship. That's more important than just picking up the phone and saying, hey, I love you. You know, like, how are my grandkids? Anything. They're not reasonable people. We can sit around and think about how life is short. It's not promised to any of us. They're not thinking about that. They're not. They're just looking forward to their paradise. So paradise bound, no earthly good. Okay? And I've made a whole video about that if y'all want to check it out if you haven't already. It's just so frustrating to have parents that's alive and well and not be able to reach out to them because they're shunning you. And, you know, when I first started my YouTube channel, you know, I felt like maybe I wasn't totally relatable because, you know, I shared that I still had some type of contact with my Jehovah's Witness family, especially my dad. Well, now I'm not even in contact with my dad because, you know, like I've mentioned before in the video already, he's mad at me because I'm mad at him because he's trying to insinuate that he was not present during my judicial meetings when I was 15 and 16 years old, where the elders were asking me very highly inappropriate questions. He's saying he wasn't there. And then he went on to say, which really pissed me off, he said that my mother said I wasn't there. So they're both in cahoots against me, saying that he wasn't there in this judicial meeting where I was asked inappropriate questions by these old nasty men. But he was there. But I called him an effing liar. Okay, I said the word. And that's an effing lie. And so, yeah, we still haven't talked since then. And it's been months now. So I don't talk to either one of my parents, and they live right here in town. So I can't feel like, you know, life is short. Let me call. I tried to contact him after, even though, you know, he want to be mad about me cursing. No, I'm mad because you act like you don't know that you went back there with me and that you allowed me to go back there and speak with these men, period. Whether you remember you being back there or not, you know that you allowed me to do this. You didn't tell my mama not to do it. My mama was back there. Like, and yeah, I'm talking about this again because it's very much so irritating. You know, like, how dare they? And it's just all this religion's fault, this cult. Like, it's their fault that we're at odds with our families like this. That our family feel like it's okay if they die. It's okay that life is short. It's okay if God forbid, you pass away today, it's all right, because then maybe God will resurrect you if you go ahead and pass away now. So they really don't care if you pass away, because they're going to look at that scripture, oh, he resurrects the righteous and the unrighteous, so maybe they might have a chance at being resurrected again. Just perhaps. Because God know their heart. So they could have came around and came to their senses before the system came to an end. But God know their heart. So, hopefully he resurrect them. Nothing's certain. But yet they go along with all of this nonsense. Shun their family members, their own kids. And kids, their own parents, siblings. Best of friends. Everybody is getting shunned. Ain't nobody exempt from being shunned. And it's crazy because I really thought that I was so loved in my house growing up. I thought, I'm Felice. I'm Mishi. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm Mish. They shunning me. Mish. That's what they call me. That's what my daddy called me. Mishi. My auntie, Mishi. My mama be calling me that too, but it's really my dad and my aunt that gave me that nickname. And I just thought I was so adored by them. Like they love me. They love me. They don't. They love the cult that they're in. They love that cult more than anything. And what can you do? What can you do but return the energy? Oh, you don't want to talk to me because you think I'm speaking against your God? Well, your God is Watchtower. And your God is letting predators run free because there's no other witness. They don't protect the children, the victims of CSA. So you know what? You want to be a part of that? I don't want to have nothing to do with you. Because you want to be a part of an organization that's condoning, that said that they will never change their stance on the 2-witness rule. You're going to stay a part of that foolishness? Oh, you want to be a part of an organization that told you Jesus ain't even much your mediator? Oh, you want to tell me that he is your mediator? Well, go back and find some of your literature, okay? Because they say right in your own publications that Jesus is not your mediator. Y'all got publications and y'all just going along with stuff that y'all don't even really know what y'all in. Y'all don't even know what you're in. It's not until you go back and read some of these crazy ass publications that you realize what you even believe. Because just like I've asked my grandma before, and I didn't get into depth with her, but I asked her, is Jesus your mediator? Well, yes, Jesus is my mediator. Yes. Yeah. That's the right answer, but that's not the answer from Watchtower. The answer from Watchtower is that he's only the mediator for the 144,000, right? Those are the ones that's supposed to be going to heaven. They have the heavenly hope, and they believe everybody else that makes it to this paradise, because they follow their religion. They have an earthly hope. But according to their beliefs and their doctrine, Jesus is only the mediator for the 144,000. So you need them. You need the governing body to get through to Jesus, to get through to God. You don't even know that. But see, I don't want to be a part of nothing